Hello, welcome back to the plot. How are you doing? It's the end of October now and things are a bit chilly actually today. At least the sun's not shining in my eyes, so I'm not squinting at you all, and the wind's not too bad as well, so you should be able to hear me. Hello, I'm Matthew. This is my allotment plot. Hang on. This is my allotment here in sunny Nottingham. Obviously Nottingham's gone into a bit of a lockdown at the minute. I'm not affected by that. I'm still tier 2 because of the way they've done it with the local councils. But, you know, obviously there's still a lot to be, you know, considered at this very difficult time. There you go, push on it, that's it, done. Push past like we all will do. So, yeah, I mean, this is the plot at the minute. Everything's starting to empty out a bit. Got a few things growing. I've got me garlic down there, that's growing away. My broad beans have started to show life as well. I'll show you down here, look. Oh, if I can get this cover off without damaging anything. There you go, do you see, little broad bean? Maybe you don't. But there it is, this cloth will stay on. Offer it a bit of protection. You don't have to worry about watering, the soil will stay nice and damp. There's a bit of ventilation in the top there, but you can see there's some condensation, just keep an eye on that. Looks like this one's coming up as well, doobity-doo. Yes, there we have a broad bean. Don't want to keep lifting these up too much, cause any damage. But yeah, they'll grow up and sit away nicely. Garlic I mentioned, let's have a look. Hopefully you can see. Can you see? The garlic is growing. So there's 2 rows. One row's coming up really well, the other one's a little bit further behind. But you can also see the couch grass that I've missed. You see them sprouting up. That means there's a big long couch grass root under there somewhere, but hey ho. Anyway, that aside, I'm going to start looking at composting and preparing my beds a little bit for winter. That's one of my compost heaps at the minute. As you can see, it's piled high. That will rot down, but it's pretty much at full capacity. This bag here is also a compost bin. I need to chop that up really. That's a slightly rotten pumpkin. Whoops. That's what happens when the frost gets to them. They go a bit manky. So that's also a compost bin that I need tipping out soon. This one's full up as well. It's got a load of brassica waste in the top. And then my 4th one is also very full as well. So I've still got a lot of waste and plant material that I need to get rid of, obviously all of it non-diseased, but I've got things like these marigolds down here. They've come to an end, so I can get those dug up. Runner bean plants, obviously the majority of those beans have been harvested so the plants can come out. A lot of my dahlias as well, they've started to hit the end of things anyway. So you see down here, dahlia plants have all been nipped by cold, they're looking a bit brown and they need to come out. And then in the greenhouses as well, my chilli plants, as I thought at this time of year, they're starting to look a bit worse for wear. Plus, most of them have all been harvested off anyway now, so yeah, that's one thing. Anyway, that all brings me back to what we can actually wind. So short of putting it on the composter and leaving it a year or 2 to let it rot down naturally, there is another way that you can deal with your stuff, and it's also really good for your beds, and I'll show you it right now. Well, I think I must have just cursed myself because I was just on about how decent the weather is, and yeah, it's just absolutely chucked it down. Anyway, here's what I've done. I've dug a ditch. Very technical thing, ditch. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my compostables straight into there and cover them over. Then they can rot down directly in the ground, release all their nutrients and the organic matter directly there for the plants to take up next season. They'll be able to rot down over winter. So I'm not going to put anything in there, obviously, that's, you know, going to be able to live under there. I don't want to put any potatoes, any, you know, roots or anything like that in there. But foliage or, you know, old fruit that's gone over, anything like that will be brilliant. A lot of plants will really appreciate that. So I'm just going to crack on and fill the trench. Come on. Yeah. flipping weather's really getting it now. So as you can see, I've put a load in there. I'm also going to cut down my dahlias, maybe cut down my Jerusalem artichokes, lay them in there as well, cover them back over when it stops raining. And then, as you can see, I've covered that up now, and I can do the same on the other side of the bed, dig it over the other way and refill the other side. Okay. Now, I've been saying for a long time now that I'm going to get my onions in, and I'm actually going to do it now. I've prepared this bed down here at the bottom of the plot. Here we go, lovely, dug over. It's got a bit of compost in it. I'm also going to put some blood, fish and the bone in there as well. There we go, that's some blood, fish and bone put on that bed now, and I'm going to get it ready for me juicy brains. Onions, for my onions, they're going in this bed. Now, the onions that I'm going to be planting are these, Japanese, and this, which is a collection of onions. Again, Wilco. Ooh. They got red, white and the traditional yellow. I've also got some shallots. These were grown last year, and these grow slightly differently from a normal onion because unlike growing and swelling, these, like a garlic, split and divide and grow into a bunch, so that's how you get your new shallots. Your traditional onion sets, you're going to plant like that and they're going to swell up like that, and that's when you harvest them. Okay. I feel a bit weird. I'm going to use this plank here. This plank's been marked out in 6-inch increments, or about 150mm. That's how far you want between your onions, and then between rows you probably want to go 10 or 12 inches, mainly so you can hoe between them and they're not all too crowded. So I'm just going to position those now. When you come to plant these guys, don't go too deep. You want to just leave the tops of them sticking out. And don't wedge them into the ground because you might damage the base on them. Pointy end up, root end down. There we go. Lovely. I'm going to be honest with you, I've never planted any at this time of year. I always do mine in spring, which I probably will do some more in spring as well. There we go, nothing to it. Couldn't be easier. You might find that the birds and other things come along and they'll see this, and as they're foraging they'll pluck them out again, which until they've rooted is always a problem. So just keep an eye. They'll probably just pick it up, realise it's nothing, chuck it away, so you can just replant them. So keep an eye on that. And we'll get the rest of these in. I'm going to go same principle with these Japanese onions here. As you can see, they just look like a standard little onion set. If I can go into them. And there we go. Just check around them again for any rot or any soft ones. And again, I'm just going 6-inch between bulbs in a row. Hopefully these will get the roots down in no time and be away. Obviously once I get the roots in, they're a bit more better anchored against the likes of the birds. I'm not going to cover them. Some people do like to cover them, especially if you've got a big problem with the birds plucking them out. As you can see, I've gone for the same principle there with my shallots. Or maybe you can't see. There you go, there's the shallot just sitting below the ground. They've got these tails on, which is useful so I can see them. I've just gone 6 inches again. Probably can't see the other ones, but there's one onion, there's the other. Gives me plenty of room to get in to do my weeding and my hoeing. There's just one more thing to do with those now, which is to mark them with a tag so I know where they are, and that way I won't kill them when I'm weeding, because that would be bad. So, how are you all getting on anyway? Hopefully you're doing well. I feel a bit weird myself, can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, I want to know, what do you guys do, you experienced gardeners, over winter? Have you got a set plan that you do? I'm talking about with the ground. You know, do you cover it over with plastic? Do you cover it with cardboard and manure? You know, just, yeah, a good few ideas, because I've tried both and I thought the plastic approach is good because it keeps the weed down. It also warms the soil up. You know, the cardboard and manure approach is good, obviously it keeps the weeds down, puts nutrients back into the soil. But, you know, let me know what you do and why in the comments, please. So we've had some fun down on the plot today anyway. It's that time of year. I hope you're all enjoying carving your pumpkins and all the rest of it. I think trick-or-treating is out the window at the minute. Obviously we've all got to keep away from each other to keep everybody safe. But yeah, enjoy it whatever you do. Have a little dress up, have a little bit of fun, carve your pumpkins, you know. I think my next job down here on the plot is going to be getting a load of manure. I've got to get a load of manure down here, put it on them beds, because there's a lot of them emptying out now. And you know, I want to make sure that they're being fed over the winter, so you might see that very shortly. Thank you very much for joining me today. I just want to thank you all. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, give me a subscribe and all the rest of it. It gives me a bit of incentive to keep going. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I think I need to brush my teeth.